A couple of weeks ago, I released a short asking who had the best hallway scene out of Darth Maul, Darth Vader, and Luke Skywalker. I also posted a poll for people to vote in asking the same question, and it was pretty lopsided, but I wanted to go over these myself. I'll be going through each scene and ranking them based on various categories. These being opponent difficulty, creativity, plot impact, music, and fanfare. I was also debating going off timing as in when they were released, but I didn't think that this would realistically have made any sort of impact to the actual scenes themselves. The scene with the highest average will be the victor, so without further ado, let's get started with the one that started them all. The first and most popular hallway scene. Vader is seen appearing in the dark end of a hallway before decimating a group of rebel soldiers while on his way to retrieve the stolen Death Star plans. The enemies Darth Vader faces are rebel troopers. These are by far the easiest and least trained of the three hallway scenes. They are just a bunch of dudes who have their blaster license and know how to shoot. They had absolutely no chance. And because of that, I'm going to give this a 5. Vader's hallway scene is pretty straightforward. He uses his lightsaber and simple force abilities to slice, dice, and disarm the rebel troopers. The most unique move is when Vader flung a rebel to the ceiling and held him there, stunned, before slashing him in the body. Pulling all of the blasters away was also awesome to watch. Because of the simplicity, I'm going to give his creativity a 6. Did this scene impact the plot at all? Not really. He made the rebel ship attempt to flee faster, but at the same time, they were already in a rush to leave. So because of this, it's very simple. I'm just going to give it a 3. The music is absolutely terrifying and haunting. The silence leading up to Vader's lightsaber igniting and the rebels firing amplifies the sudden appearance of this music. Honestly, if the music wasn't like this, I don't think this scene would have had the impact that it did. And because of that, I'm giving it a 9. I mean, this was likely a part of the reason why people went to see Rogue One in theaters at all. Just hoping to see a modern Prime Vader was enough to put people in the seats. Because of that, there was a high bar for this scene. Dang, fair did it deliver. This is an easy 10. Next up is the second hallway scene that aired, Darth Maul. After being released by Ahsoka to cause a diversion so she can escape the clone-infested Venator, Darth Maul moseyed around a corner, taking out several clone troopers with only the wall panels of the ship, ending with him using the Force to pull a clone's arm closer to him so that it gets cut off by the blast doors. Absolutely gnarly. Darth Maul had to face clone troopers that were born to be soldiers and were trained from birth. Much more difficult than the rebels in Rogue One, but Maul still made fairly easy work of these soldiers. These were also 501st troopers towards the end of the war. So I almost guarantee you that these troopers had a lot of experience. And that didn't matter. Because of the timing and them being clone troopers, I'm giving Darth Maul an 8 in opponent difficulty. This is the only hallway scene where a lightsaber is nowhere to be seen. Due to this, Darth Maul had to improvise, and he did this by literally pulling the wall apart to kill the clones. And he didn't just kill them, he impaled them, he decapitated them, he crushed them, and caused a clone's arm to get cut off so he could use the comlink. If that's not creative, I don't know what is. That's a 10. The whole reason Maul was loose on the ship in the first place was because Ahsoka set him free to be a distraction so that she could get away. Not only does he do this successfully, he then inhibits Ahsoka and Rex's escape. He had quite the impact. I'm giving it a 7. The music in this scene is good, but it doesn't really have a massive impact on the scene, especially in comparison to the other two hallway scenes. And because of that, I'm only going to give it a 3. No one was really asking for this, and it was just kind of cool that it happened. Maul absolutely killed it, but it wasn't something people were hoping to get. Although it was awesome, it doesn't really blow the viewers' minds like the other two do. And because of that, I think I'm only going to give it a 4. Finally, we have Luke Bantha Lovin' Skywalker. After Djarin and friends got trapped on the bridge of Moff Gideon's ship with Generation 3 Dark Troopers literally knocking down the door, Luke Skywalker came to the rescue after being called by Grogu through the Scene Stone on Tython. These are easily the most difficult enemies in the 3 hallway scenes. These 3rd generation Dark Troopers could withstand blaster shots, Din's whistling birds, and even fire. Now, what's the one thing it didn't have any resistances against? A lightsaber. And boy did Luke prove that. I think this is an obvious 10. As great as Luke is in the scene, he basically just uses a couple of different lightsaber form techniques. Although he does use a decapitated droid head to knock out another droid, he also uses Force Pull to pull in Dark Troopers to him, but also, and best of all, uses Force Crush to absolutely destroy a Dark Trooper. He does this towards the end of the scene, and it's not too creative overall, but the Force Crush is the best part of it. And also, he's just hella smooth with the lightsaber. Because it was mostly lightsaber and one really cool Force move at the end, I'm gonna only give it a 5. Luke's appearance was likely the only way out for the group on the bridge. Could they have made it out otherwise? That's highly doubtful. Luke has a direct impact on the ending of the season and the characters themselves. He also takes Grogu from Din. Din completed his task of delivering Grogu to the Jedi. And thus, this is a 10. The slow fade into the music after the elevator door opens is absolutely fantastic. I almost wonder if the scene would be better with just sound effects themselves and not much music. Probably not though, honestly. As Luke continues to use the Force and his lightsaber, the music swells until he gets to use the Force Crush, then it fades. Not as impactful as the music in Vader's hallway scene, but it's definitely a cherry on top. I'll give the music in this scene a 6. After the controversy of Last Jedi, half the fanbase wanted to see their Luke Skywalker, while the other half was just happy to see Luke ball out in his prime. This scene shows how far Luke has come since the end of Return of the Jedi. I don't care how much you loved Last Jedi, I was sad when I knew we weren't going to be able to see Prime Luke, so the fact that we got a glimpse of it, boy does it feel good. This is an easy 10. Now, let's see how everything averages out. In third, we have Maul with a 6.4. In second, it's Vader with a 6.6. And winning the competition is Luke with a fat 8.2. I'll be honest, I'm kind of surprised with how this turned out, with how close Maul and Vader were specifically. Although I think because Vader is a more beloved character, it's not realistically that close for a lot of fans out there. But this is what I came up with. Now, am I saying you should change what you like? Absolutely not. All of this is subjective, so these 3 scenes can be in literally any order. Let me know your rankings in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and even subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's hit that 500 goal and get on our way to 1,000. Monetization, baby. You know what they say, bigger number, better person. Thank you again for watching, and may the Force be with you.